We're going live.
And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Jump into Crypto episode 633. Today is Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish, and today's top stories. A lot of good ones. OCC, U.S. federal regulator, says banks can conduct payments using stablecoins. Grayscale dumps XRP. Here's where it's putting its cash. JPMorgan predicts Bitcoin could rise over $146,000 in the long term. With 6 hours left, Treasury logs almost 6,000 comments on crypto monitoring proposal. And last but not least, crypto users donate $400,000 to Julian Assange defense as Mexico proposes asylum. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and talk about this price action. I know you all want to know about that more than anything.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So looking at the prices today, Bitcoin is at $32,277, up 0.6%. Ethereum sitting at $1,043.84, up 0.8%. XRP at 22 cents is down 1% today. Stellar, after their good news, is up 24.8% to 17
catching
cents.
XRP.
Hey, man, Stellar is about to catch up XRP. Jeb McCaleb is going to have the last laugh. Chainlink at 1427, up 3.7%. Litecoin at 154.16 is down about 1%. And last but not least, EOS at 284 is up 1.6%. So we're seeing mostly green. Some of the bigger gains, like as you can see, IOTA, Loopring down there with 56% daily. We're starting to see alt season, people. And even though it's not alt season versus Bitcoin, alts versus USD is doing very well. And that's sort of why I encourage people to use eToro, because alts versus BTC, I don't know if too many gonna come back. But there are a bunch that gained a lot of percentage over the weekend in USD simply because rising tide lifts all boats. So a lot of these smaller coins are getting the benefit of Bitcoin, especially something like Doge, which is just under 1 cent right now.
I actually have it pulled up, and that's important. I'm glad you brought it up. I want to talk about that. You're talking about there's not many altcoins. The Bitcoin pairing, of course, there are not that many, but I think, again, Dogecoin is one of those long-term bets. Again, discretionary income, people. But if you were to go crazy on this thing, just look at it now. Is it at 1 cent, or it's never been at 1 cent? Like, I don't think people understand. Like 1 cent Doge is the same as a $10,000, $20,000 Bitcoin, people.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see that we're. I mean, you can see the candle; it goes straight up for the new year. I mean, look at this. You go from 0.04 cent, 0.0 less than a penny, people, to an actual penny. I mean, that's pretty impressive. As you see here, some of the lowest of the lowest, 0.002. And I mean, this is just from 1 year. I mean, we go back 3 or 4 years ago, people, it's like 0.0008. So I'm telling you, this thing is slowly creeping out. And again, this might be one of those long-term ones, as we said, only because it's based off of the community itself, more or less. Top story of the day, U.S. Federal regulator says banks can conduct payments using stablecoins.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going full crypto? Is this what this means? Bitcoin's Day. What's going on in this top story?
Oh, man. So, Brian Brooks, who is over the Office of the Comptroller of Currency, he stated that he addressed whether national banks and federal savings associations could participate in independent node verification networks, INVNs, which, remember when we talked about CBDCs in 2018 and we were like, they're starting to throw these words in here that they're going to use later. I think INVN may be the next big one that they use. Yep. Because they say otherwise known as blockchain networks, but they're just nodes. And they are banks are able to use stable coins. They can participate as nodes on the blockchain and store or validate payments. So you have people on Twitter who are hitting up banks and are like, hey, if you need me to set up your node, let me know. Because this news is great for the Bitcoin space, because he basically put Bitcoin on the same level as Swift, ACH, and Fedwire, which, if you know, these are global financial networks where you can send money anywhere in the world, and they're quote unquote controlled by the Comptroller of Currency. He said the US has relied on the private sector to create such technologies, seemingly endorsing the use of cryptocurrencies, specifically stablecoins, which is not cryptocurrency, as an alternative to other real-time payment systems. So 2 things that come out of this. 1, this is good for Bitcoin because it does sort of legitimize it in the eyes of people who still believe in banks. But another thing to this that I want people to understand is that if they're making Bitcoin, they're moving it to this this class of, okay, it's legal, we're using it. I don't think other cryptocurrencies will survive long term. A lot of them.
They about to start killing them. It's official. That's what the SEC has been about when they're going out the ICOs. That's what the IRS is like. Hey, even though we've never been education, because I've never learned about IRS in school, so they've never been education. Even though they said they're not doing education any longer, and they're going toward enforcement. This all just shows me is like, yo, we about to eliminate everybody. Gang.
And the biggest thing is
crypto team.
You got to think like these people. This is what I see just based on the historical data to now. They're going to accumulate as much Bitcoin as they can. People are going to try to control the on-ramps. They're going to make you use a stable coin to buy it so they can track it. And then they're going to slowly kill the rest of the crypto market. So all of that market cap goes straight to Bitcoin, enriching themselves and making people use their platform. So it is a good plan on their part to earn money off of this industry. The OCC making this announcement is big, but it legitimized Bitcoin in the eyes of people who need Bitcoin to be legitimized. For people like us, Bitcoin is legitimate if the code works. That's all that matters,
right.
And it does. So I'm glad to see this. Great news, great day for Bitcoin. And I mean, once PayPal was in on it, once Michael Saylor started buying, it was almost inevitable that the government's not stopping this. They're like, I mean, I know a billionaire has enough money to do enough research to see if the government's trying to stop it. It's not stopping anytime soon. Right. I think the bull market is back on. That little dip we had yesterday, I think that was just institutions buying real quick.
I mean, like you said, it got bought right back up. We had 32, so that says a lot.
Yeah, so OCC, good news, man.
Yeah, one thing I want to say about this, it says the OCC said INVNs, of course, nodes, quote, may be more resilient than other payment networks due to a large number of nodes needed to verify transactions, which can in turn limit tampering. What I just don't get about our own government, man, I really don't get it. It's like, you work for the citizens, right? You work for citizens, but why are you lying and do all this manipulation? You're talking about Bitcoin blockchain. All right, we know it knows doing the Bitcoin blockchain. That's why we've been doing 633 shows about it, because we're trying to tell our government and the rest of the world that, hey, yes, this can allow for permissionless transactions, or it can limit the amount of tampering. It's transparent. These are all the things we've been saying. So again, it's disheartening. I remember you used that word. It's disheartening to me to see federal regulators that we pay with our tax money come out and tell us information about the new things they have going on, when it's actually old technology that we've been trying to have our government actually use for everyone. But instead, like you said, they're doing the whole, we talked about this before, instead of using the internet, the government is saying, we're going to use our private intranet, which we saw with companies in the 90s and early 2000s. It doesn't work. No one wants to use your private intranet. Everyone wants to use the public internet that the whole world uses. So I say that in the same vein as this. I get it. This is a great step forward because the validity of the crypto space and nodes is now becoming known on federal level, but also it's just one of those things was like,
hey,
guys, why are you trying to make an intranet? No one wants to use a CBDC. No one wants to use a government node, because I tell you what else about this government node. Not only will they be tracking everything you do as far as the crypto space on these nodes that you're going to use for the government, they're going to be tracking everything you do on that computer or on that actual node. Wherever that node is, you better believe there's going to be a backdoor way for them just to track everything that's on that device, wherever that device may be.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great comparison, because people don't realize, younger people, I would say, the internet was not always public and open. The internet started,
I'm feeling old now that you said that.
I was saying, because you got 19-year-olds that think the internet is in your phone. They think that's where it started. They think that's it. But in reality, you're right. The internet was presented as a free and open way for information to disseminate. And what did the regulators and companies instantly do? We're going to set up our private internet. We're going to set up our private intranet, whatever, and we're going to work it within. And then they realize if nobody else is using it, then you basically have a slower version of what they were doing before. Just like with blockchain, it's a slower version of what we're already doing. So if you have a private blockchain, it's pretty much useless. And if they have public nodes that you can see, they're opening it up. All they're doing is the same thing with internet. The on-ramps to internet, to get internet connection, they're controlled. They're pretty much centralized. So I think that's what they're trying to do. You can have a free and open internet experience, but you do have to be tech savvy, put some work in.
You got to do it on your own.
Same thing with Bitcoin. You can have an open, permissionless financial system within yourself and your family. You just got to do a little bit more work. You can't just go to Coinbase, buy it, and then be like, I'm in Bitcoin. Like that's not enough.
Right.
So I'm glad you made that comparison. That's literally what they're doing, right? They don't have, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. They don't have any new tricks up their sleeve. They don't have any new tricks, man.
Quick shout outs before we get to the next story. Ross Shu, Madam Crypto, Tonio, Crypto Q. Antonio is one of our in-house moderators as well as Crypto Q. Tonio, thanks. I saw your message this morning. You know you on island time, so I think I got it at like 2 or 3 a.m. But appreciate you updating those thumbnails. We're gonna get on that too. Ross Shu said this Doge stuff is bananas, man. Man, it is. I don't think, again, people don't realize how crazy Doge is going right now on the low.
Yeah.
Bruce, and that's why I say I know far-fetched, and I said long-term, super long-term, people. But if the frenzy and the FOMO continues, I mean, all it takes is for that 1 cent to go to 10 cent, that 10 cent to go to 25, and we on our way to $1, people. I am telling you, it's not crazy. I never thought Ripple used to be 0.008 cent. This same year, it went to $3.20 something. So I'm telling you, it is very possible. 0.008 was less than a penny. Up to 3. Doge could do the same thing. Miley Toxic Frog just what's up? Says saw your Kaiser interview. Great stuff. Thank you. Paul, Mark Cooper, Lisa Lee, Crypto Culture, Erica K, Justin Redrick, Trek, PFC Wells, Cornelius Broadnugs, D Chiron. Let's see, Erica K, gang, Hodling, James Sierra, Erlene Miller. Good morning. Dewan Trace, Too Rich to Miss, Jay Titan. Let's see, everybody, G Graham. All right, that's what I'm talking about. It's becoming too much to shout out. That's what we like to see, people.
That's what we like to see. We about to start doing cash outs and shout outs.
Sure, you smash that like and share too. My bad, Zay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're all good. I watching other YouTubers. We're about to start doing cash apps for shout outs. Too many people, but nah, it's all good. We gotta keep it G. Make sure you let everybody know they're in here.
Yeah, man. We like to shout everybody out. All right, next story up. For all Kashta, I'm calling you out. Come on in, Kashta. We need your input, not just for us. I think you need to argue against Grayscale. Next story up, Grayscale dumps XRP. Here's where it's putting its cash. To me, man, this is one of those, I won't say the official, but this is getting closer to the kiss of death for sure.
Yeah.
When you start having investment companies, especially ones like Grayscale that have been around the crypto space since its inception for the most part, dump an asset because of the SEC. I mean, that, and then you got the exchanges dropping you. That is a clear sign. It doesn't matter if you do beat the SEC, right? It doesn't matter if you do, because it's just one of those things that nobody else wants those problems. Yeah. Honestly, it's like, if you were, I don't know, we always talk about gang with the US. If you get into it with a bunch of people, some posse, some gang somewhere, it's like, yeah, you might win one day, you might win a week, but nobody want those problems for the rest of their life.
Looking over their shoulder forever. No.
So yeah. I say that with Ripple, and then again, Grayscale Investments is a major crypto player to drop its association with Ripple's token. As you can see here, Ripple is sitting on a log all along, wondering how this came to be. Just 3 years ago, we were the richest people on the planet. And now it looks like Grayscale Investments, the world's largest cryptocurrency asset manager, announced Tuesday that has liquidated its XRP holdings and used the remaining funds to buy more Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. The decision affects Grayscale's digital large cap fund, a market cap weighted asset that provides exposure to the largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. Now, again, here's the crazy thing about this as well. Grayscale has been in this crypto business for a while. They are all too familiar when it comes to dips, the bounces, oversold, overbought, every type of trading psychology you can find out there. Now, we do know there's some long-term holders, so they can't go wrong with that, but also they have been trading that fund, as you can see here. So for me, for them to get rid of Ripple in its entirety, to get rid of all of their XRP after it just took a huge haircut. I mean, we just saw XRP go from 60 back to 20 or whatever. To see that happen, to see them still drop it, means that they've done their due diligence and Ripple might be dead.
Yeah, and I want people who are thinking about, oh, I'm gonna buy the dip on Ripple, I'm gonna get it at 10 cents and hold it. This is what's about to happen. The cascading dominoes have already started falling. And in the words of the great Trayvon James, aka Bitcoin Trey, you didn't lose your money. Well, technically, you lost your money. It's gone. Man. Like I'm not saying that it's over forever. I actually think Ripple will have some sort of epic apocalyptic exit pump, like maybe a few years from now. But this is what people need to understand. If all these U.S. companies move away from it, if the SEC charges them, even if it's if they just pay out or whatever, other countries that they keep claiming they're going to go to that use it, they're like 90% of our customers are outside the U.S., so it doesn't kill it. Cool. Do you think those banks in other countries are going to do business with you if the U.S., which is
here's their new customers?
No, they're not going to do it. They're like,
no, they got customers: Venezuela, North Korea, Iran.
Exactly. Take it to the sanction places where they don't know any better, and have fun. 100 billion tokens for everybody. But
Right.
if you still hold on to Ripple at this point, you have stronger hands than most Bitcoiners, because I mean, SEC news should have just did it for you just for now. Because think about this: there's people who have $10,000-$20,000 worth of Ripple. They're saying they're going to hold. That might be 2 years before this case is over. Imagine watching Bitcoin and the rest of the industry for 2 years.
And I was just about to say, there's so many other good projects in between that time too. There's so many other good projects now. And with that, again, like, I'm glad you mentioned that. You say if you're a holder now with Ripple, you have strong hands. Not only strong hands, like, again, I want to really put this out to the XRP holders. You're not just holding in hopes of Ripple and this project takes off. The United States has drawn a line in the sand, okay? You are picking the side of Ripple against the United States government. I want to make sure that's clear as well.
Freaking Ripple.
I want to make sure that is super clear, because again, let's say worst case scenario, the SEC does win. We're not gonna go too deep in this, but the SEC does win. Ripple's a security, blah, blah, blah. Everyone who owns that security now is in debt to the United States government and the SEC, and they will come after you. I mean, it's point blank period, especially if they lose, because they lose, that means the judge is going to order them to give over all their logs, all of their records, and X, Y, Z, right? Now, if they win, like Bitcoin's, they say, if they win, maybe you could get the last minute pump. But again, this is SEC people. When Kick, or was it Kick, or one of the, some of these other companies just went through the whole SEC thing, we saw a year and a half trial. So you're looking at a year and a half trial, or back and forth and discovery and all this other stuff before a decision is even made at the low end. Again, there's a lot of other projects. There's no reason just to hold on to that.
Oh yeah. You might as well hold Bitcoin Cash.
Oh, Alexander Berry, LMAO, quoting Trayvon James. All right, I got to actually put that quote in perspective. So if you heard the quote, just say from, what's his name again?
Bitcoin Trade. Yeah.
If you all don't remember when BitConnect, the scam, finally, came out that was a scam, and it dipped and everybody was selling. And I think it went from what? Some crazy high. I don't even know the price of it. Let's just say it went from like $1,000 to like $20 something, right? Just for an example, extreme example. When it was at 20, that's when Trayvon, as Bitcoin's day said, was just like, no. What did he say?
Yeah, he was like, I mean, you didn't lose your money. Well, technically, you lost your money. Yeah, I actually put the video link in the chat. So if you want to check that out, he's an OG from back in the day. From back in the day. So shout out to Bitcoin Trade. That's one of the funniest videos in the space. But
that wasn't funny.
XRP people, you lost your money. I mean, just deal with it. This is the crypto space. Welcome to the show. You wanted to be in crypto?
Hey, welcome to the show. Jay Titan says strong hands and a mental problem. G Graham said SEC are extortionists. Oh, gang, people. That's why we always say that, is because we try to just show the what's the word I'm looking for? Satire. I can't say the word. What's the word?
Satirical.
Satirical parallel between our government and actual gangs. All right. All right. Next story up. Oh man. JPMorgan back in the news. JPMorgan predicts Bitcoin price could rise over 146,000 in the long term. I really could care less about going into the details of this story. We only brought this story up because, again, we are still curious as to why JPMorgan is talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah. What I mean, exactly what would be the reason? And why would they bring this price prediction? One thing I want to state before, do you want to show that other article?
Yeah, let's show the other article from
let's
2017. And we covered this article.
Yeah, let's look at 2017, where the price of Bitcoin went from $6,000 to $3,000. We remember that vividly because the price of Bitcoin was pumping in 2017. Jamie Dimon comes on stage at a bank investor conference in New York trying to impress his buddies. And he states that the currency isn't going to work. You can't have a business where people can invent a currency out of thin air and think that people who are buying it are really smart. We tore that quote to shreds. Of course, Bitcoin's not a business. Of course, Bitcoin is more than a currency. And while he was making that statement, they were having a JPMorgan Ethereum meetup in San Francisco at the exact same time. So we knew this was bogus. We knew that this was something that he was just putting out as fraud. But my, how the times have changed. JPMorgan today has put out a report stating that they predict a $146,000 Bitcoin price based on the assumption that crypto will grow in popularity as an alternative to gold. Now, let me explain something to everybody who just realized what we've been saying all these years. They've been telling you one thing to keep you out of the market while they've been doing it. They've been accumulating as much as they possibly can. And then there's no way they just found out Bitcoin could be an alternative to digital gold. People, they're very smart. They're so smart, they're evil. That's what people don't understand. Like,
so smart, they're evil.
You got a choice. You got really smart people who can work in your favor, like Satoshi. He basically saved the financial industry, very smart, but he did it once. Then you got JPMorgan. They're very smart, but we're gonna use this to enrich ourselves. So we're gonna make sure we pump up the price of Bitcoin. Now that we have enough, Citibank.
Now that we have enough, it's going up to 146,000.
You know why it's going up there? Because as soon as we print this media article, you're going to go out and buy it, and you're going to basically have a self-fulfilling prophecy that is going to go to 140. All that has to happen is that we have to capture half of the market cap of gold, which if you look at anybody under the age of 21, I don't think anybody is.
Nobody buying, bro.
Nobody's buying gold.
They wearing, that's it.
Exactly. Like I said, I like my gold around my neck. Gold is just a shiny rock to me. There are some use cases people bring up, but I can't do anything with gold in reality. And with Bitcoin, it's outperformed it so much so it's almost laughable to bring it up. However, it is something that people try to, bring up whatever in the markets. But JPMorgan, for one, big fuck you to JPMorgan, because I am tired of hearing these quote unquote predictions from these companies that 4 years ago said that the market was over, is dying. Me and King must be smarter than all the bankers.
And that's my only point. Hey, I'm gonna need this advance.
Yeah, exactly. They either incompetent or they in on it. Either way, I don't want to deal with them. So JPMorgan, once again, kudos to you for for understanding people are dumb enough to fall for that back in 2017. But again, if you're getting people out of the market via media, via talking, buying up the asset, and then later pumping the price by saying it's going up, this is par for the course. This is how they do the stock market. So there's no way they won't do it in the Bitcoin market the same.
And this is where the gang comes in at too. This is, let me get it off the screen. This is market manipulation, people. Like, there's no way saying. And if you remember, also in the same year, or it might have been 2017, 2018, regulators came out and said, hey, if you know anyone on Telegram doing pump and dump schemes, we will give you $150,000 tournament. First of all, if you're in crypto and you knew somebody on Telegram doing a pump and dump scheme, you can make more than that actually doing the pump and dump scheme. Secondly,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Secondly, again, the government was going after people, as the SEC did with the ICOs. We're seeing it now doing STOs and everything. All these government agencies are going after people, saying that whatever way they're using crypto or they're manipulating the market, they're doing all these bad things to the market, and it's here to protect customers. When the biggest bank, one of the largest banks on the planet, their CEO can come out, and I'm about to highlight this again, at a conference when Bitcoin is pumping, say that I would fire them in a second, or Diamond said that if any JPMorgan traders are trading the cryptocurrency, this is on stage, I would fire them in a second for 2 reasons. It goes against our rules and they are stupid, and both are dangerous. Again, as Bitcoin Zay said, he called it a fraud. He said it's not going to work. He called it stupid. It's against the rules. And then 3 years later, and let me remind you too, on all these shows back in 2017, 2018, the one thing we kept saying about every scam artist in the crypto space, or any scam artists in general, but especially scam artists in crypto space, people who have made big mistakes in the crypto space, lost money, X, Y, and Z, give it a year and a half, 2 years, and they always come back rebranded. They come back under new company names. Some of them come back with new actual names themselves, new looks. They come back in 2 years with a brand new. If you think BitConnect's not coming back in the next year or two, you are crazy. It won't be called BitConnect, but someone who made it out of that BitConnect fiasco, who was on the inside, is about to run the play again. 2 years in people, I'm telling you now. So don't be surprised. So that's the only thing that frustrates me. Like you said, I don't want to be on dead horse, but I woke up this morning, I saw that story. I'm just like, it's pissing me off, because JPMorgan will probably end up taking over the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah, and I had to show that article. That article was so egregious. I had to show my daughter. She can't even read. I was like, "Look at this bullshit." I mean, JPMorgan at this point, in my opinion, they are the evil genius that was in that show. Remember the show? I forget, Robot something, whatever.
Oh, Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. Yeah. So that's literally who they are now.
I always thought so too. They're E-Corp. They're E-Corp.
That's literally E-Corp, and
they're going to win. I hate to say it.
They're going to win, but this is the one thing that may devalue them is if we keep printing money and they keep cash reserves, they may not have a choice but to buy Bitcoin to stay afloat. Now, what happens when that happens? What happens when you need to buy Bitcoin to stay afloat? Not if you want to. We're talking about billions going trillion, because I mean, a lot of people are calling for the destabilization of the dollar, which again, I don't want to see apocalyptic people dying all over the place.
I was about to say, because I don't think people realize that too. The dollar, dollar destabilizes.
It's very bad for everybody, but it's simple math. You can't print 25% of our total supply in 1 year and not think prices aren't going to be inflated. Milk is going to be $8 next year sometime. You know what I mean? Like something like that could happen where your standard of life decreases, but not just apocalyptic things, just simple math. Again, Bitcoin over time has outperformed every asset, every S&P 500
on the planet.
On the planet. So of course they're going to invest in Bitcoin.
The history of the planet, matter of fact.
In the history of the planet. We have not seen an asset go 30-something
million.
This is
Steph Curry, and y'all still talking about he might not be a good shooter. Like,
yeah. Exactly. he hit 900 threes in a row, and you're like, but what if he missed one? It's like, what?
Bitcoin's like, oh, so y'all needed me to put up 32,000 this year. All right, cool, we'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's watched us for a while. We've been talking. We got to find those old videos. Antonio, I'll link up with you.
Yeah, we're gonna get. Listen, we need to get an intern too, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I know Bitcoin Zay is busy. I'm busy. We're not gonna go through a video in 2017 and find a quote. If somebody wants to do it, go ahead and do it now. I'll send you $50 Bitcoin. There you go.
Oh no, yeah, I was just saying, yeah, it's all good. We can do that, but I got an intern for us. We got it.
All right, there we go.
We're gonna get it done.
We used to give away stuff anyway. So hey, if you're in the comment section, go back to 2017. You saw the date. It's around October, August, September. Find the video. I'll send you some crypto. All right, that's me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now for the comment section, we get to these last two stories that we rounded in on our time. But hey, we missed like a week, so I know we're having fun. There's some hilarious comments going out. First to start it off, I'll go back up. Alvaro Obando said, "Do either of you brothers listen to Dr. Boyce Watkins?" Now, before I can even say anything, I see Jay Titan at the end of this message talking about Dr. Boyce Watkins is a boomer who don't know shit. Watkins is late to the party. You'd be better listening to the gym and the crypto. Now, this is all true, but I will say this, and I'm taking this from Bitcoin Zay, something he told me yesterday. He was like, "Hey, basically, we don't want to burn bridges. All right, we've talking a lot of shit. I know I talk a lot of shit. Don't want to burn bridges. So I won't burn the Dr. What's his name? Boyce.
Dr. Boyce Watkins. Yeah.
I won't burn Dr. Boyce Watkins' bridge because hopefully we can all work together one day. But what I will say is that yes, it did look really kind of scamish when he got involved, and then right after the price dipped, he got uninvolved. So yes, then that happened to many people. It's not just him. It was a lot of people, but I agree with Jay Titan. He is a not just because he's a boomer, because again, it's not an age thing, but the mentality thing. I will give him props for at least jumping on crypto at the time he did it, even though that was a wave. He got off it. He will be coming back into it, just like what's the other marketing guy who got big?
The one that's like
there's two of them. There's two like little marketing geniuses.
I don't know, but one of them was like, "This is my backyard." He's like, "This is my backyard." Like that dude. Yeah, I don't know his name, but I will say for Dr. Boyce Watkins, 2017.
Somebody said he said by XRP. Never mind.
Hold up. I was gonna say that. Let me get to it, because again, I don't talk bad about Black people in person, to everybody else. What I say is, if I ever meet Dr. Boyce Watkins, I will explain this to him, but this is what he has done. You can go look it up. He introduced people to Bitcoin at 18,000 in 2017. I was receiving his emails because I follow him. He's smart in the other parts of
the traditional market.
But people have to understand, and I think people are starting to wake up now, that all these people that were smart in the traditional financial market, they learned it from a school that was taught by somebody from before, and everything is from past knowledge. There is no real innovation in the financial industry. So of course he's smart in other parts, but he doesn't understand crypto. He actually told people to buy XRP. It might be a good investment. A lot of Black people listen to it, which is why we still have these arguments to this day. And then of course, from the economic side, one of the things I don't like is that just because something gets popular, you can't just start teaching it. I'm glad he handed it off to Lamar, but even Lamar kind of slid away. You know what I mean?
Slid away. Hey, I made a joke yesterday. I was like, Big Mar slid off.
Yeah, because why? I mean, right now we're in the crypto world. How dumb will we look if something artificial intelligence takes off and we jump up like, "Oh yeah, you should do this"? Why are you like, that's not your field? Like, what? That's exactly what happened.
Talking about soccer, man.
Exactly. So to Dr. Boyce Watkins, I would love to sit down with him and be like, "Look, we can show your people how to actually, succeed in this market. You're just giving them information that you probably got from an article, or you have researchers that find articles. We live it like every day. We can show you the real stuff." So unfortunately that happened, but hopefully we can get some word out to him to get real education. Especially not just to him. There's a lot
I was just about to say, not just him, banks, governments.
Warren Buffett, I mean, there was a guy in the clubhouse last night. He said the only reason he didn't buy Bitcoin is because he's from Nebraska and Warren Buffett is like God. So when he said Bitcoin is like rat poison, he sat on that for 5 years before he decided to get in. These financial people who are smart in other places, they don't know anything about Bitcoin and crypto. They literally are shaking in their boots because they're like, hold up, there's a whole army of people that understand the new financial market better than me. I'm a dinosaur. I'm done. So only thing I can do is either offer classes, make some quick money, or try and hire somebody to do it, and it's gonna be subpar at best. So that's my take on that, but it's all good.
Start lying as they all been doing. No,
Exactly.
I'm with you. And that's been my whole thing about everything. That's kind of the reason why we started the show. Is like governments, regulators, banks, all this other stuff. It's that human, it's that pride. They all got that pride. All these CEOs got that pride where, like you said, I don't want to be the wrong one. I can't go ask for help, or I just have to move forward and know everything. When essentially it's like,
Exactly.
yo, you are actually doing yourself a disservice. You won't learn in this space without trial and error. It's that simple.
Hey man, I want to shout out a comment here.
Go ahead.
A couple of them. First, D. Sharon, he said, never listen to somebody named Boyce. Might have to put that as a rule.
That's low-key true though.
Yeah, we might have to put that with the rule with ponytails. And then Madam Crypto, she said in 2017, Watkins put me out of a Zoom meeting because I kept talking about Bitcoin. Exactly. And there's a guy, what's his name? Man, Brass Knuckles Finance. Brass Knuckles Finance, a lot of Black people follow him. In 2015, he blocked me on Twitter because I was saying, why isn't Bitcoin a part of your message? You're doing Black people a disservice by telling them, buy real estate, buy stocks, buy all the stuff we've been buying anyway, which is not going to get you any sort of return. You have ownership, but you're going to miss the biggest transfer of wealth in our lifetime. And he blocked me for that. So these financial people are, to me, they are sort of threatened by people like us who we didn't go through traditional markets. We learned this. We just learned it, and now that we know it,
I want to make sure trial and error.
Trial and error. Oh yeah, trust me, we went through. Oh, we done jumped through so many fire hoops and fences.
And the reason why I want to point that out is because governments, regulators, institutions, big banks think by doing it their way, they're going to get away from trial and error, and it's going to cost them more money. It's already costing them more money. Perfect example is that the Bear Group, whoever the Bear Investment Group that sold their investment sold half of their Bitcoin at 25,000. Again, you're an investment group. I know you just bought into Bitcoin in 2020. So you've been in less than a year and you didn't sold half of it. You need Bitcoin, Zay, or King in your room right now. Like you don't know what you're doing.
At 25,000 when it clearly had room to grow.
This is what frustrates me. It's like literally, if you just listen to one of us, we can not only make you money to be done for the rest of your life, we could be done for the rest of our life, all within 5-minute conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, I'm glad that people are starting to realize, because last bull market, remember, everybody was a trader, everybody was a YouTuber, everybody knew everything.
I mean, traders came out the blue.
This time around, people are they're like,
it's like 6 traders right now.
I mean, I do crypto. So now people are like, I'm in it, but I know not to mess with Bitcoin and crypto people anymore, because we will call you out. We do self-regulate because we understand what we're up against. We can't have weak people as a part of the leadership, so to say, in Bitcoin, because if you don't know what you're talking about, you just led thousands of people down the wrong path. That's half a clubhouse right now.
And that's
you got a bunch of people jumping on.
That's the only thing the government needs to say, see, y'all need us. Let us come on in here, get this tax money going and all that extra stuff. With all that being said, that long thing we just went off of is a great segue to this next article. With 6 hours left, Treasury logs almost 6,000 comments on crypto monitoring proposal. I just want to point this out before Bitcoin Zay attacks his story. 6 hours left for the people who work for us in the government to make a decision, and we have 6,000 comments. To me, that sounds like they should not be making a decision right now. Very simple. Yep. What's going on with this story, though?
This to me is very egregious. For one thing, the FinCEN, whenever they propose something, you have 60 days to send a response, and all of the responses have to be read. FinCEN actually only gave 15 days this time around. Don't think anything fishy is going on there.
Man.
That's what I'm saying.
This is gangster shit.
They just made it up out of the blue. They just said, okay, we're gonna do 15 instead of 60. Really, what they use the holidays against people. Why are you relaxing with your family, drinking, laughing, talking about? They're in the back rooms coming up with ways to not only pass laws without you knowing, but to take wealth out of your hands, essentially, because of this rule that FinCEN is trying to make you validate your node or sign up your node. So FinCEN's timing has been a subject of criticism from a number of lawmakers, as well as the crypto community, including Jack Dorsey. He even said it on Square, actually came out with a whole thread of why they sent a letter. Their timing has, adding to the problem, some potential commenters have reported issues on using the U.S. federal government's main portal. So the portal doesn't work, so you can't even use it.
Bro,
So
this
you
one
can't even
is
send. You can't
intentional.
even
It's so
send
intentional.
comments. Exactly. We can't have a website that works. A government agency. Come on, man.
Here's how I know it's intentional too. This is like, it's not even, oh, it could. When you do government contracts for usually all government contracts, but I'll specifically talk about what I know. When you do military contracts, you know, that movie, I think it was like War Dogs, when Jonah Hill and other guys showed the two young guys, how they basically became some of the biggest contractors of the United States government in the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, starting slow on the website. That website is real, right? That website is still here to this day. We all can, right now in front of you all, I can log on to this website and I can see every government contract out and I can bid on things I have, right? Now, here's the thing you need to understand. Most of those contracts are like, I won't say most, but a good 25% of those contracts are already spoken for, right? What they do is they'll release the contract out. Let's say we need a million M4 rifles overseas by this date, right? They will release the contract within 24 hours. It will already be filled. Who do you know can fill that type of contract out the blue without doing their sourcing, right? No one. The reason that happens so quickly is because the government already gets in touch with these people. Everybody already knows who's going to do it. But since like the law says you have to open it up to the public, they open it up to the public for the 24 hours and then they close it immediately. And they already have the people who are going to get the contract. This is the exact same thing happening. They're saying, oh yeah, first they say, you know, by law, we're supposed to have 60 days. Now we're going to give you 15 days. Something we've talked about many times here before. They do it on Friday nights and stuff, like random nights, Wednesday nights, Friday nights where you're not paying attention. They do it a Friday night, like you said, before Christmas. No one gets a chance to do anything. They have all the comments. It looks like they don't care and they're going to move forward with this. Crazy, but it's actually happening.
Yep, and it's
like this is
one of
the, this is happening.
It's so weird because what you're seeing, what we've talked about before, is that these government regulators, they either need to meet up or can they get a Slack together, because they are not on the same page at all. You have the Office of Comptroller of Currency basically legalizing Bitcoin on one end. Then on the other end, you got FinCEN saying any transaction over $3,000, you have to report or sign up a self-hosted wallet. Are y'all talking to each other? Like, y'all are all over the place. And you're about to see exactly how dysfunctional governments are, because they're made up of humans who have an inefficient process, and they're going up against math and an efficient process.
Technology.
So they're going technology, math, and an efficient process. So they're going to look silly, because if you have the SEC taking on XRP, you got FinCEN trying to do this law, you got the OCC agreeing with us, you got CFTC agreeing with us, then you got, like, it's all over. So nobody really knows exactly who's on whose side. The whole government is going to eat themselves, because they're going to pass laws that cross over to another one. Then I mean, it's just one big game. So you're starting to see the human side of it come out. This is why rules that are governed by software are always better. And human error is not going away. So we're just seeing it live. You're watching our government live scrambling.
With that statement being made, that is why, for me, I personally believe as we move into the future, there won't be a need for like a president or some human to rule over everyone. We can use our phone, we can use apps, and we can vote on stuff and be like, all right, this is what it is. This is what the consensus said. Like, move forward. Technology, software, it works. People were seeing as Bitcoins, they said. Human intervention does not. All right, last story, end this off on a bang. Crypto users donate $400,000 to Julian Assange defense as Mexico proposes asylum. Looks like a UK judge ruled against extraditing the WikiLeaks founder to the US in response to his legal team arguing he would have a, quote, high risk of serious depression leading to suicide. Hey, for real. He basically told him, hey, if I go to the US, I'm killing myself. I'm not sitting no, I'm with him. I'm not sitting in no US jail for no 20, 30, 40 years because of whatever. But what's going on with this story?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead and let me get myself up out of here. Just drop the rope at the door. I handle the rest. I'm not going back. But amid speculation, amid speculation on social media that U.S. President Donald Trump may still pardon Julian Assange before leaving office, lawyers are preparing the WikiLeaks founder for many possible legal outcomes. According to the Twitter user Well Alert, users have donated a sizable amount of Bitcoin toward the legal defense. Someone actually sent 8.48 Bitcoin at one time, roughly 280,000.
Not alone out here.
And another crypto user donated 4.5 Bitcoin, a transaction worth 125,000. So, you know, Assange is currently in a UK prison, but he could face charges of violating the Espionage Act of 1917 related to documents provided by Chelsea Manning. 1917.
I know you're gonna say I don't listen to no laws before the Voting Rights Act. I don't listen to laws.
Exactly. Anything for the Voting Rights Act, I ain't with it.
I'm
The
not allowed to vote, but I'm
Espionage
supposed
Act.
to listen to a law.
This isn't World War I. Like, what are you talking about? He put out information that is on the internet. He didn't. Okay, whatever. We ain't gonna get into that. But I want to talk about this story because this is back to the ethos of Bitcoin. That if anybody tries to shut you down, 400K in Bitcoin, just like that. If anybody tries to shut down your freedom to move or use money, Bitcoin can always come through. And it's been proven time and time again. Bitcoin has built out individuals, it's built out companies, it will bail out countries at some point. So you're just seeing a person who the freedom type of people respect, getting donations so that he can live and maybe get to a point where he can get his own private island and just leave him there. Like, I don't even understand putting the guy in jail at this point. Like, why I can't drop him off?
Just tell him don't come back to the U.S. Like,
exactly, drop him off at an island in the middle of nowhere with no directions and be like, just don't come back to the U.S.
Excommunicado or whatever.
Whatever, exactly. Whatever y'all are doing is got to be bigger, something bigger at play. But the information is out there now. I mean, what can you do? So, shout out to everybody who donated.
I just want to really hit on that statement you just said, because I was going to say the same thing. Fully agree with you. People, this is a minor scale we're seeing. Again, I like to use extreme examples to make my point. But imagine if I had trillions, billions of dollars, and if I was Michael Sayer with the Bitcoin thing, and I just turned 400 million to $1 billion, there ain't no tax money. There ain't no tax money. If y'all want to come get $200,000 in Bitcoin where nobody can get it from you, come work for me. But we're not paying no taxes around this part.
Yeah. And
so what's going to happen today? What's going to happen today when you get 10 or 20 people all got billions of dollars in Bitcoin that the government can't control or handle? And you have people like me that say, yeah, I can work for you. I'll come do whatever your organization or your new country is doing over here. I like this country. I like the outside over here.
I like this. I like the citadel.
What is going to happen when you start having humans do that? When they say, I don't have to listen to the government because you all don't control my money. And this new person, wherever they're starting, they can actually, in a security sense, back me up too. So I don't have to worry about your gang coming to kill me because I'm not going to pay you money. I don't have to worry about you kidnapping me, putting me in jail because I'm not going to pay you my money or do whatever law from 1917 you want me to do. What is going to happen when we see that day? I think we will see that day. When we see Bitcoiners become trillionaires, whether it's an individual or a group of people, you see the Brian Armstrongs, the Roger Veres, the Gemini twins, and all these people all of a sudden get on the same team together. I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Because
all right, last couple comments. Cecily said, has the book shipped out yet, Zay, the first edition?
Yes, they're all being shipped daily. I mean, whenever orders coming in, we're shipping them out. So yes. And the second book shipping starts next week.
There we go. Investing King UK said, why did the OCC choose stablecoins instead of XRP? Because they can control them. But that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Last couple quick shots. I saw some new people. Thanks, Alexander Berry. Very nice stream, gentlemen. Let's see. I saw some new names I want to give a quick shout out to. Anita Ortega said, let's see, check out these fools. Hashtag help our peeps. There we go. Tommy Brown said, man, y'all got me at work, LOL today. There we go. It was nice to see you guys on EYL, Earn Your Leisure. Hey, set it up, Zuri. We all about jumping around. And I saw a couple of new people. Thanks if you're new for joining the stream. If I forgot to shout you out, my bad. I'm trying to scroll up these comments, but we'll definitely try to shout you out tomorrow when we see you as well. Oh, there we go. Zaziko HD. That's the first time I ever saw that name. Is Ethereum going to reach its all-time high anytime soon? What was the all-time high to begin with?
1,300, I believe. We're right there.
Eventually get there. I mean,
we're right there. I think Ethereum will hit 2,000. I mean, just off speculation and Ethereum 2.0.
Speculation. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, but as far as use case, we can have another conversation about that. But as far as price, yeah, I think.
And then last three I didn't see. Jabari, what's up? Will Winstead and Mark Cooper. Hello. I think I got just about everybody in the stream today. Again, thanks everybody for joining. Make sure you smash that like and share. How was that Clubhouse yesterday?
Clubhouse was amazing. Actually, at the 11 a.m. one, we gave away a lot of free Bitcoin. At the later one, which was basically geared towards people scared with the stimulus checks, we actually got the first sponsored Clubhouse, I believe, in Clubhouse history. Lolly, if you're familiar with Lolly, Lolli. Yeah, the CEO reached out to me on Twitter. He jumped on Clubhouse, gave away free sats to everybody that signed up. He says they'll be doing it every week. So for those of you listening, if you get on Clubhouse, if you get on Black Bitcoin Billionaires, Lolly is sponsoring one of our rooms. We're trying to get other ones as well. And I believe we are the first sponsor group on Clubhouse. So last night was a great night, and shout out to everybody who listened in. Also did the first webinar for Bitcoin in Black America, second edition last night. That went great. Anybody who bought the book, who joined in, thank you for joining. Anybody who bought the book and missed it, you will be receiving emails today with the recorded webinar.
All right, there we go. As always, thanks for watching again. Make sure you smash that like and share, people. It's a great day. All these new people, it's good to see. We're going to keep pumping this thing up. Again, we're trying to get to these 10,000 subs. It's about that time. All right.